So March was madness, and I'm not talking about basketball. In real estate, we noticed that there was more sales, higher price homes, and less days on market. Yep, prices are going up, and not a lot of people are talking about this, which is very interesting. Also, there are bidding wars out there. It's just a little different than what we're used to in the last few years. And if you've owned a home since 2020, we got some good news for you. Hey everybody, my name is Rene, and I run a real estate team in the Oakville, Burlington, and Hamilton region. Before we get into the stats and the market, if you like this video, please don't forget to give us that thumbs up. Also, if you enjoy this content and you'd like to see more of it, please subscribe to our channel. And lastly, if there's something in the video that we didn't cover and you'd like to get more into detail, please click the link in the description, and I'd love to connect on a one-to-one and talk about anything and everything real estate. So we did notice that in certain pockets in March, home prices were actually up versus the previous month. In Oakville, we noticed in some pockets it was actually up 4 to 5%. In Burlington, we noticed in some pockets it was actually up around 7%. And in Hamilton, we noticed in some pockets that it was up around 5%. So the market has changed. I said in my previous video that it's not fully a seller's market yet, but it's definitely getting there, especially at the rate that inventory is dropping. So got to keep an eye on inventory. In terms of the last month, we noticed some cool stats here, and this is really good for sellers. So for example, in Oakville, we noticed that there was about 178 homes that sold, and 38% of them sold 100% or higher, and a bunch of them sold over 110 or 115%. So there's definitely some activity. Buyers are back, they're feeling pretty confident, and as this inventory starts to go down, we could see some more bidding wars. In Burlington, there was around 229 sales that took place, and 37% of them actually sold 100% or higher in terms of asking price. The bidding wars are all going to continue as long as this inventory drops and as these buyers start to come out. So you got to pay attention to that. In Hamilton, there was 377 sales that took place in March, and 36% of them sold 100% of asking or higher. And in a lot of pockets, we actually noticed that there are bidding wars. So this is definitely something to keep an eye on. So the thing about the bidding wars in this market versus the previous year and even 2 years ago, there's bidding wars, but the cool thing is that conditions are in a bunch of them. So unlike the previous years where you had to go firm, the good thing here for buyers is that even though you might be competing, we're still in a market that you can get a finance condition or potentially a home inspection condition. So we're not at that point yet that everything has to go firm, and hopefully we don't get into that market because no one liked that market. We're not a fan of that. We do like conditions, and especially if we're working with first-time home buyers, very important that we put those conditions. But keep an eye on it, because every week we're noticing a bunch of buyers come back, and if we don't see more inventory in the next few months, this end of spring and early summer could be a rodeo of a market. Now, if you've owned a home since 2020, this is good. In Oakville, you've appreciated anywhere from 5 to 13% over the last few years. In Burlington, you've appreciated about 7 to 10%. And in Hamilton, you've appreciated anywhere from 8 to 12%. So that's good news. Now, if we talk about inventory, this is really important to know. If we compare how inventory was over the last 6 months or 8 months, we've actually seen that number go down quite a bit. And if we compare it year to date versus where we were a year ago, we're actually hovering anywhere from about 36 to 171% more than we had last year. However, just a month ago, we had about 114 to 391% more inventory. So this number is dropping quickly. If we look at sales versus 2022, we're also noticing that it's down about 10 to 29%. Now, the interesting thing here is if we compare it to the previous month, we were down 38 to 46%. So this means homes are selling a lot faster now. Now, in terms of the sale price versus March 2022, I've been dying to talk about this for a year. Ever since last year, I've been very curious to see how do the numbers align a year from now. Well, we're here. So this is a huge shocker. We've noticed that in Oakville, the price difference is only about 4% versus last year. And this is crazy because we did notice in Oakville last year, we were saying that the market was up anywhere from like 15 to 25%. So the fact that in certain pockets it's only down about 4 to 10% is huge. Now, the townhouse market, we've seen that it's down anywhere from 9 to 18%, which I still think that's pretty good given how drastic the market was last year. And if we look at the condo market, this is a little bit more in line with what I expected. We've seen anywhere from 15 to 23% in terms of the drop versus last year. But detached and townhouses are doing awesome. Now, if you're wondering like what kind of negotiation power you have as a buyer, anywhere from about 2 to 3% is what we're seeing. However, that's changing pretty quickly. And the more bidding wars that we have, that number will change for sure. All right, we're going to look at some city stats right now in terms of appreciation. So if we look at Oakville over the last few years, since 2020, we have noticed that the market for detached homes has gone up or appreciated around 13% per year. Townhouses have appreciated about 11% per year, and condos have appreciated 5% per year. This is since 2020. Now, Burlington, give or take around 10 to 11% for detached. The townhouse market, again, around 10% in terms of appreciation, and the condo market around 7%. So if you've owned a home since 2020, the good news is the market has been okay, even with these adjustments that we've seen. Now in Hamilton, the detached house market actually has gone up 11% per year, which is awesome. And if you own a townhome, it's around 12%. Condo market is 8%. So this is good news. Again, if the media always likes to say how bad the market is and whatnot, but we are seeing this in a positive way. And we look at the stats on a monthly, yearly basis, and we really analyze and we try to put some perspective into it. All right, so here is some cool information about how the market compared year over year and month over month. What I want to talk about today is the Burlington market. And we all know that over the last year, the market was going down and it was adjusting, and everybody knew that there's going to be a lot of red here. However, let's talk about month over month right now. If we look at Burlington, the previous month, we actually seen a 37% increase in sales and just a 1% drop versus the previous month for prices. This is interesting because when we compared last year, in some pockets, the values were up 20 to 30%. And the neat thing here is that Burlington prices are down about 12% versus last year, which is pretty good, and it's trending in the right direction. The townhouse market, again, yep, we know it was down quite a bit versus the previous year, but look at this, 23% higher amount of sales and 7% higher prices versus the previous month. And condo market, yes, last year was definitely a lot higher price, but look at what happened month over month, 91% more sales. And yes, we're down 8% in value versus the previous month, but we're still trending upward. If we look at Oakville, this one is really, really interesting. I will say that we're only down 4% for detached home prices versus last year, which is absolutely nuts, knowing that in some pockets of Oakville, the market was up like 20, 25%. Now, if we look at Oakville detached versus the previous month, this is incredible too. The sales are up 57% and the value is up 4% versus the previous month, which is incredible. The townhouses did really well, as 41% more sales versus the previous month. And in terms of the value, townhouses are up 5% versus the previous month. Condo market, we've seen 153% more sales, and the value dropped about 6% versus the previous month. Now, Hamilton, let's look at how it did. In terms of the previous year, again, we know there was some massive adjustments, but the neat thing here is we're seeing more sales for detached homes in Hamilton, and we're also seeing a 4% drop versus the previous month, but that's okay because the previous month we were actually doing pretty good. Now, in terms of the townhouse market, we noticed some more sales, which is about 35% higher, and we noticed just a 0.4% increase in value. And the condo market, more sales, which is around 36% higher than the previous month. And the good news here is that the market went up 5% versus the previous month. So this chart, I think really shows you that there is some positive news, and the trend is going up. I think in the next 2 to 3 months we could see more green. I'm very intrigued to see how this all plays out by the summertime, and definitely Q4, because we may be in full green mode. So for my final thoughts, it's just all about keeping an eye on the market on a daily basis, and especially month over month. Now that we're heading into April, May, and June, these are the months when we compare to last year where the market just kept going down completely. But if these numbers are trending up in the next few months, that's incredible news for sellers. If you're a buyer, you really got to keep an eye. I wouldn't keep waiting. I think that there's still some good deals out there, but the longer you wait, the less inventory there could be, and the bidding wars could come back. Thank you for watching. My name is Rene Aliscus. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you liked it, please give us the thumbs up. If you enjoy the content and you'd like to see more of this, please subscribe to our channel. And if there was something that I missed in this video and you'd like to connect, click the link in the description, book a one-to-one. We can connect, talk about anything and everything real estate. Thank you for watching.